Are you somebody that loves to sample? I love sampling. And I want to share with you guys a website that I found that's incredible for finding lesser known artists and songs all through YouTube, but it uses AI to help you find those like hidden gems. It's kind of like, you know, the modern day crate digging, if you will. Not to mention the fact that you can find some really good artists that you probably haven't heard of before. So I'm going to show you how the website works, and then we're going to make a little beat out of a song that we find there, and we're going to have some fun. Let's jump in. So this is Sample It, and the way that it works is it will find YouTube videos based on the filters that you input. So for example, if we want to look for like a specific genre, so say funk and soul, let's say I want it to be like in a 10-year period, like in the 70s, for example, we could do like 1969 to 1979. I'm not gonna mess with the tempo or anything except for the views, because I wanna keep it to a lower number of views so we can get something that's a little bit more, not esoteric, but just lesser known. So let's do somewhere between 2,000 views and 20,000 views. And then what we can do is call this soul search, soul searching, right? Okay, so we can save that as a filter. And then when we come back to the website, we can pull it back up again. But this is really cool. So when you close this and then you press this pink random button, you know what I like about this one too is it's in 6/8, so we can use the 6/8 to 4/4 trick that I went over in a different sampling video here on Thomann Bedroom Producers if you want to check that out. We've got the record all ready to go in our DAW, and now it's time to get to our sampling. So I don't know exactly how I want to attack the sampling just yet, but what I am going to do is start with a basic beat, and then we'll kind of figure out how we want to chop once the beat is together here. So you can see too that the way that I constructed this basic beat is I've got like the kick on the 1 and 3 and the snare on the 2 and 4. And that's a really nice way to start your beat because the pattern hasn't really taken shape yet, but all of the sort of necessary elements are there. So now I'm gonna play the beat and just play through some of the chops until we find something that will be cool. Did you hear that? This part right here. Let's lay that down real quick. That's a really cool starting point. I love that. And you know what though? I kind of like the simple drums that we've got going. It helps like support that downbeat feel that we're getting from chopping a 6/8 song into 4/4. I really like it. We don't need to make it any more complicated than this, right? Now for this one, I'm gonna leave the chops as they are, but let's get some bass going. And I wanna use like kind of a Mogi bass, like something really simple and subby, something that just like kind of hits hard, you know? So what I like to use for this is the Mini V3, I think it's called, from Arturia. Super easy to use synth and awesome for bass sound specifically. So there's a preset in here that I really like that's called Club Sub. It's good stuff right here, but I want to make it so that it's a little bit more interesting than just like a sub. So let's see if we can, let's add like a sawtooth wave on top at like an octave above, right? So we're gonna make sure that this is switched on. This is the first oscillator, the higher one. Woo! So let's see how this sounds in context here. filling out that bottom end. And by the way, if you didn't know that you could do this in Ableton, I didn't record the bass line that I just recorded that I was playing along with. And you can actually save it with this little, it's a square, just like the corners here at the top. And if you click that, it'll actually input what you recorded here and you don't have to go back and re-record it, which is super nice. Now, I really like these sample chops, but I also kind of want to have it not repeat the exact same way every single time. So I'm going to figure out if there's a way that we can add a little variation in there to keep it different. And I noticed that there's this part, which sounds similar to, so I'm going to combine these a little bit. We could go like this, right? So let's lay down that variation as the first one that happens, so it doesn't go to that sort of minor sounding thing at the very end. And then when that last snare hits, I kind of want everything to cut out except for the snare. So it just goes like this. I could also really hear like a shaker coming in when we bring everything back. Let me throw in a little shaker here. Let's look for some other chops that we could maybe use as like a B part or add some detail on top of what we've got here. So I found these chops that kind of remind me of like something that Kanye would do, right? So it's like, I kind of like this as like a B part. So let me put this as like the bridge kind of section here. I'll color this green so we know. And then maybe for the beginning, we'll just introduce the sample chops sort of in the same way that they exist now. And then maybe we could do the like repeating thing where we go. I kind of like it because it sounds like he's saying my mind is free, and then, you know, the next part talks about being happy. I like how like different chops kind of reveal different things about the theme of the beat. Also, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I kind of want to add like a little real bass in here too. Like there's this part where it goes minor, right? I want to emphasize that with something. So something like this, right? Yeah, I like that. It's like just a little bit of, you know, ear candy. The last thing I kind of want to add to it is just like some more sample chops. But what I like to do when I'm not really sure what to add is I like to play around with pitching the original sample up like a fifth or a fourth or an octave and just see what little things I can add in just from the sample alone. Because you'll hear new things once it's been pitched up and sped up that way. It'll sound a lot different, obviously. But usually you find like some cool stuff to add. So I pitched this up by 8 semitones, and here's a couple of the chops that I found that I thought sounded kind of cool. And then in context with the other sample, it sounds like this. Now the question is, how do we end the song? What I want to do is resample the last part of the beat, and then we're going to pitch it down and slow it down so that it's twice as long. And we'll kind of have it like fade out like that. I just want to see if it will work with something like this. of weird, but I also kind of like it at the same time. I don't know. Why don't you guys let me know down below if you guys like that kind of thing to end it with. Just something a little bit different, you know? So now what I want to do is just take a listen to the whole beat, and we'll just see what we came up with just using this sample it method. So yeah, check out samplet.io and do a little bit of YouTube crate digging and find some cool samples that you can sample, but also just listen to later on. I found lots of cool music just using this website, so I wanted to share it with you guys. So happy sampling and happy music making, and we'll see you guys very, very soon in the next video. Take care. Peace.